Before we start the video today, I just want to remind everybody, whether you're a supporter of the channel or a viewer of the channel, to zip on over to my Patreon page. You don't have to be a patron to take a look at this, but if you scroll down when you go to the page, there is a video down here called 10,000 Subscribers, Patrons Only. That is an awesome video. You need to watch it. I'm doing something really special for all of you that support me and for those of you who could become supporters in the future. So if you get a chance, when you get done watching this video, zip on over there. Like I said, scroll down to where it says 10,000 subscribers, and that's the video you want to watch. And while I have you all, I want to tell you thank you so much for helping me reach 10,000 subscribers. Never thought I would be here. You guys have done so much for this channel, and I look forward to continually providing content that you like and welcoming new viewers to my channel. Once again, thank you guys so much for helping me reach 10,000 subscribers. You really don't know what it means to me. So now let's get to the video. I have looked at quite a few Arch Linux distros in the past. Everything from Manjaro to Endeavor, Arco Linux, and Garuda. I'm even running Storm OS on 2 of my business machines now and don't have any issues with it at all. But I always get this question in my comments. eBuzz, what is the best Arch Linux distribution out there? And quite honestly, guys, today I'm going to give you that answer, and it's probably not what you're expecting. So that's what we're going to cover today on eBuzz Central. So the best version of Arch Linux is Arch Linux. Yes. Now don't run off. I know y'all are going to be like, ooh, I can't install Arch. I can't do that. What if I told you Arch was so easy to install now that you could have it up and running in less than 20 minutes and have a fully functioning operating system? And it doesn't matter how long you've been using Linux. If I told you that, would you be interested? Well, that's what we're doing today. We're going to download Arch. We're going to install it. And I'm going to show you the easiest way to do it. And it's never been easier. As a matter of fact, I've been running this on my daily driver content creating machine for about 2.5 weeks now and haven't had any issues at all. And before I did this video, I challenged my 15-year-old son. I gave him a USB stick and I said, see if you can install Arch Linux on this laptop. He's run Manjaro in the past and he's run Endeavor in the past. He put that USB stick in and was up and running in less than 30 minutes. So that lets you know, if it's that easy that a 15-year-old can do it, if you're watching this video, you can do it. So really, the first thing we want to do is you want to go over to the Arch Linux website, which is archlinux.org. And once you get there, you're going to come to the home page. That's what this is right here. Just zip on up to download, and you've got options up here. You can do a BitTorrent download, which is what I did. And this is the newest release. It is June 1st, 2022. You can get a Vagrant image, a Docker image, a VM image, or you can do a direct download down here. Okay? So once you have that downloaded, you can burn it to your USB. And I'm sure if you're even watching this video, you know how to burn a USB, or maybe you just want to try this out in a virtual machine. I'm going to actually install it in a virtual machine today, but every one of these steps that we take will work on any install you want to do, and you're going to be up and running. So what you want to do is burn it to your USB and boot into it. And once you do that, this is the screen you're going to be met with. Arch Linux install medium, Arch Linux install medium with speech, Arch Linux install medium copy to RAM. This one's real simple. All you want to do is click on the very first one, Arch Linux install medium. Just hit enter. You're going to see all this crazy stuff come up. You've seen it before when you've booted into a Manjaro or something like that. You're just booting into the Arch install right now, so we'll wait for this to pop up. Once this pops up, it says Arch Linux 5.18.1-Arch1-1. And then it says to install Arch Linux, follow the installation guide. So you need to go back over to the archlinux.org installation guide. Well, really, you don't have to. Once you get to this screen right here, it's real simple. All you got to do is type in Arch install and hit enter. And it's going to do a little searching. It's going to test the connectivity to the Arch Linux mirrors. And then this nice screen right here is going to come up. It's pretty simple and it's pretty easy to follow. Now right here, it's going to say Arch install language. If you want to pick a different language, you just hit enter and it'll open up a different screen with different languages that you can install it in. Once you find the language that you want to use, just hit enter. Then it's going to go ahead and give you your keyboard layout. You can go over here and change this to whatever your keyboard layout may be, and then just hit enter. Locale language, go ahead and hit enter. You can find the language that you're using or the language that you need to install it under. Just hit enter. Down here, you're going to select your drive. It'll tell you all your drives that are listed right here. I'm going to use this 32 gigabyte drive that I have selected. Go ahead and hit spacebar and it selects it and then hit enter. Then it'll have disk layout. You can come over here. This is where you can partition it really quick. Select what to do with each individual drive or wipe all the selected drives and use a best effort default partition layout. Go ahead and go down and hit enter. Right here, you can pick your file system. Do you want BTRFS? Do you want ext4, F2FS, XFS? I'm going to go ahead and just pick ext4 and hit enter. Encryption password, I don't want one. Bootloader, we're going to go ahead and just use grub. Now, if you want to change that, you can come over here and change it if you want to, but I would go ahead and just leave it there. Swap, I'm going to go ahead and leave swap space. It's not going to bother you either way if you don't. That's truly up to you. Host name, I'm going to change the host name of this system. I'm going to change it to eBuzz and change it to eBuzz. There we go. User account. Let's go ahead and hit enter. Enter username. I'm going to go with eBuzz. Password for eBuzz. I want to use it anyway. Yes. There we go. We're set up and we are super user. Confirm and exit. We go down to the next, which is profile. Go ahead and hit enter. Now right here is where you can select a desktop environment. You can do a minimal install. You can do a server. You can do Xorg. Or you can do a desktop. Desktop is your first choice, so hit enter. Here you've got plenty to choose from. Awesome, bspawn, budgie, deepen, enlightenment, gnome, KDE, LXQT. I'm going to go ahead and install KDE because I know a lot of people that watch my videos love KDE, so we'll go ahead and hit enter. And down here's where you select your graphics driver. AMD or ATI open source, you just pick that. You can do all open source. Now if you've got NVIDIA, you've got the NVIDIA Open Kernel module for newer GPUs or the Turing, NVIDIA Open Source Nuvo driver, or the NVIDIA proprietary driver. You can pick whatever one of those that you like. If you're using a newer card, you'd probably want to go with the first one. If you're using a little older, probably this proprietary. Now you can use the open source Nuvo drivers if you want. I wouldn't recommend it, but if you're wanting to stay completely pure on the Linux system, you can go that route. I'm just going to go up here and click all open source. Now down here on audio, Pipewire is default for Arch out of the box, and I'll be quite honest, I've been using Pipewire on my content machine with just straight Arch for a while now. Now if you want to use Pulse Audio, you just come down here and hit enter. I'm going to go ahead and pick Pipewire today, so I'm going to hit enter. Kernels, it comes with the Linux 5.18 kernel. Now you can choose the hardened kernel, the LTS, or the Zen kernel, or you can have them all selected. That way you can switch kernels during use. I just recommend leaving it on this one right here. It's going to work for you. It's going to be the most bleeding edge, most newest release. So let's go ahead and hit enter. Now here's where the fun comes in. You can put additional packages in. Really the only additional package I want right out of the box is a web browser. So I'm going to go ahead and just put Firefox and hit enter. It's verifying that. And if you go up here, it shows right here, I'm going to have Firefox. Network configuration. Let's go ahead and hit enter. No network, copy ISO, or use network manager. Right here, just use network manager, whether you're using Wi-Fi or a direct connection to the internet. Time zone, I need to change that because I'm not USTC. I am actually US Central Time. So let's go ahead and hit US Central Time. And then down here, automatic time sync I have on, and then optional repositories. You can go over here. Optional repositories, if you plan on running any 32-bit applications, you'll want to go ahead and get the multi-lib. I go ahead and selected that. All I did was hit enter. Just go down to multilib, hit enter, and it's picked and selected. Now right here, you can save configuration, you can install, or you can abort. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and install. So I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. And it'll say press enter to continue. So let's go ahead and hit enter to continue. Then you get a 5-second countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's creating the new partition label on dev SDA. And it's going to start formatting your disk, and it's going to start installing Arch Linux. Now this takes about the same amount of time as it would with a Endeavor or a Manjaro install, but you don't have all of the extra stuff or the customization that those distributions have put in place. You're going to have a pure Arch Linux environment with no added junk. And quite honestly, it has ran really well for me. So we're going to let it do some of this installing, and I'll be back with you in just a little bit. As you can see, it's still going. It's actually installing the Linux firmware at the moment. It's got a total of 141 packages it needs to install, and it's at about 51%. What's going to happen here shortly is it's going to start speeding up quite quickly. As I was stating, the firmware finished installing, and as you can see right now, it's going a lot quicker than it was. It's at 44 packages out of 141, and now it's at 50. So it will go rather quickly after it gets that initial firmware installed. One of the reasons I'm trying to stay on the install as it's going is because I've been accused in the past of cutting my videos in a certain way to show people that something works when it doesn't. So I'm trying to stand with you during this whole process because I want you to encounter if there are issues or if there are errors, so that way you can see that I am not lying and I'm telling the truth, that we are installing true Arch, and we're good to go from there. It just finished installing Grub. Now it's rebuilding certificate, updating module dependencies. It's doing a lot of work in the background. Now, if you do this on a virtual machine, you will notice that I have warnings that popped up for missing firmware. Sometimes when you're in a virtual machine, it will show that. But when you get finished, it will say that the download was done without any errors. And now it's enabling service fstrim.timer. So we're going to let it do that. And as you can see in the middle of the screen, it says proceed with installation. A lot of this is automated. It goes directly into the next part of the installation without you having to do anything. And as you can see, it says installation finished, no error reported. Now we're moving on to the network manager that it's installing. And it's finished that. Now we're getting the applet installed. Okay, it's checking the package integrity, installing still. It's been about 3.5, 4 minutes at this point. Now, if you notice down here, it's saying that it's installing Firefox. We're getting close to the end now. I do believe after Firefox, it goes ahead and installs the KDE desktop environment. It just finished checking the integrity, and we're moving forward. And now it's installing different things like Nano, Vim, OpenSSH, HTOP. Now we're going into the install of Plasma. KDE Plasma workspaces. It's got 268 different packages it needs to install here. It says the total download size is 1,427 megabytes. This goes rather quickly though, so don't run off. I love doing videos like this. I love showing people that things that they've been scared of in the past, they don't need to be scared of. This is easy. It makes using Arch easy, and it makes using pure Arch even easier. I have people all the time that talk about issues that they might have with Manjaro or other Arch Linux distributions. There are some out there that run smooth, like StormOS. I use it on my business machines daily, don't have issues with it at all. But I wanted to take my content creation machine and install Arch on it and see if I could use it without it breaking and without it having any issues. And quite honestly, I am very pleased with it. And like I said, if my 15-year-old son can install this, you that are watching this video can install this no problem. It's easy to do, and it's really simple. Sure, you don't have the big beautiful pictures of a graphic user interface to do it. Who needs that? Zip through, make the choices that need to be made, hit enter, and let it install on your system. So we're at about 23 of the 268 KDE packages. So we'll let that get a little further along, and I'll be back with you. Okay, we are moving along pretty fast now. It's going rather quickly on its way to 268. Actually, very quickly. We're almost there. And it is finished. Now it's going to check the package integrity, check the key rings, make sure everything's good and there's no issues. Now it's installing. Look at how fast that's going. It's installing fonts, it's installing your workspaces, your Qt environments, your KDE applications. You're just getting a lot of things installed right now on this pure Arch install. Now it's updating your hardware database, running your build hooks for your auto detects and issue and things like that. And of course, there's a warning of a missing firmware module, which is quite often happens in virtual machines. I stated that earlier. Now it's updating your icons, enabling service, systemd time synced, enabling sudo permissions for eBuzz. And guess what? Would you like to root into the newly created installation and perform post-installation? No, I would not. So what you want to do right here is arrow down to no and hit enter. And ladies and gentlemen, installation is completed without any errors. You may now reboot. Now this will let you know right here that we've been up a total time of 18 minutes and 25 seconds. That's how long we've been talking and setting up. And like I said earlier in the video, it would be less than 20 minutes that you would have a working system. So what you're going to do right here is just type in the word reboot and hit enter. You will see all of this. And once it's rebooted, it will bring you to this screen where you have Arch Linux or advanced options for Arch Linux. What you'll want to do is go ahead and hit Arch Linux, and then it will start loading for you. And you will come to this screen right here. Now you'll want to go up here and look at the session. I have some issues sometimes with Wayland. You do have a choice between Wayland or Plasma X11. I'm going to go ahead and leave it on X11, and we're going to come down here and we're going to put in our super secret password. And then we'll be booting into our KDE desktop of our Arch install. Shouldn't take too long. And it pops right up. Clean and fast. Now, one of the first things I want to do is I want to go ahead and make a little quick change. I want to switch it over to dark mode because I prefer that. And we will apply it. And there you go. We are now in dark mode. So I'm going to go ahead and close out settings. And then you can kind of go down to your app menu and look around a little bit. You can see what comes out of the box is just your base KDE applications. So what you're going to want to do from here is you're going to want to add applications and software. So if you come down here and click on Discover, it'll open up and it'll let you know right here, Discover currently cannot be used to install any apps because you've got to install backends. Well, quite honestly, everybody, I prefer something different. On Arch installations, most people will tell you, especially the people that have been on Arch for a long time, is install everything from the terminal. Even EndeavourOS is terminal-centric. But I like to have a little help every now and then. I like to use pamac. For those of you who don't know what pamac is, it's a graphic user interface to go along with pacman so you can install programs. So what we're going to do is we're going to zip on over here and we're going to look up console, which is our terminal. And we're going to go ahead and open that up. Now, once we've maximized that, you've got a couple lines of code to put in here. And what I'm going to do is I will put these lines in the description below so it makes it really easy and simple for you. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put in sudo pacman space dash capital S dash dash needed base dash devel get wget yajl and hit enter. It'll ask for your super secret password right here, so go ahead and put that in. And it'll say proceed with installation, and you want to go ahead and say yes. And that will install. That was quick and to the point. So the next one we're going to do is we're going to cd /tmp. Now we've changed directories. Now we want to git space clone space https : / twice aur.arch-linux.org/package-query.git. We'll let that do that, and it's already done it. Now we're going to cd package-query/. We have changed there. Now we're going to make package. Makepkg space -si space && space cd space /tmp/. Hit enter. It'll wait just a little bit, and then it'll come back and you'll see it's doing its work. It's installing what you're asking it to install. And then it'll pop up, do you want to proceed with the installation? Yes, we do. And it installed. Now we're going to go ahead and do git clone https://aur.archlinux.org/yaourt.git. Hit enter, and it'll clone it. Then we want to change the directory. So cd space yaourt/. We have changed the directory. Now we're going to make the package. Makepkg space -si. Hit enter. And it'll go do its thing. It'll start doing the work and getting things installed. And we want to proceed with that installation. And that is done. Now is where the magic happens. Now all you got to do is type yaourt space -S space pamac-aur. Hit enter. And it's downloading the package build, pamac install. We want to go ahead and click yes here. Do we want to edit the package? No. We want it to just install it. Edit pamac install? No. Continue building pamac? Yes. Building and installing the packages. Proceed with installation? Click yes. And let it do its thing. It shouldn't take too long, guys. It's pretty quick. I know you think that's a lot of code to put in to get the pamac front end for Pacman, but what I'm going to do real quick is let you know that I will link all of these down in the description below, so that way all you got to do is copy and paste them and you're good to go. Edit package build, we don't want to edit it. Edit pamac, nope. Edit the AUR, no. Restart building, yes. Edit package, no. Edit pamac install, no. Continue building, yes. Install or building. Just remember, if it asks you to edit anything, just click no, or select no, I'm sorry. Edit, no. Continue building, yes. When it asks you to continue building, you always pick yes. When it asks you if you want to edit, always choose no, and you'll be good to go. Now it's going to be doing some compiling. This doesn't take too long. And remember, this may look a little scary to you, especially if you're somebody that doesn't use Arch or has never used Arch before, or maybe you're coming from an Endeavor or an Arco or a Manjaro where you're used to having everything just done. But you and I both agree that on those distributions, you do have times that the way they do them does affect your computing and does sometimes break. Now it comes down here and says continue installing libpamac, yes. Proceed with the installation, yes. Hit enter. Just know that once you get this up and running, it's pretty solid. Like I said, I've been using it on my content creation machine for quite a while now. Haven't had any problems. I went through updates with no issues. So this is definitely something to try. If you're wanting that true Arch feel, you're wanting that true Arch speed, this is definitely the route to go. We're getting closer now. And as you can see, it's still installing. Continue installing pamac, yes. Proceed with installation, yes. Okay. And that pretty much covers that. So what you want to do right now is you want to go ahead and go up here and close. Now you should be able to go down here now and go up here and do a search for add and remove. There's add and remove software. Let's go ahead and click on that. And it opens up. Now the first thing you want to do here is go ahead and click on this little hamburger menu. Go down to preferences. It'll ask for your super secret password. Go ahead and put that in and go to third party. Enable AUR support. Go ahead and click on that and check for updates. And then you can close out of that. Now, if you go down here and do a search for something like MailSpring, which is an AUR only program, you can click on it and it'll bring MailSpring up right here. And then you could download it if you wanted to. One thing I want to go ahead and download that I think is available from the regular repository is Neofetch. We'll go ahead and select that. And I want to go ahead and install it and apply. Now when Neofetch pops up, it'll give you a lot of different things you can install with it. You don't need those. You just want Neofetch when you open it up in the terminal. So I'm going to cancel. I'm going to go ahead and choose here, but I don't have anything selected. And it'll say Neofetch from the official repositories. Go ahead and click apply. And you now have Neofetch installed. So if you close that, and you go over here and open that up, let's go ahead and open the console, which is the terminal. And we will go ahead and put Neofetch in. And it pops up. So let's go ahead and make that a little bigger so you can see it. And it lets you know that we are truly running Arch Linux. We are in VirtualBox. We are running kernel 5.18.1. We've been up for 12 minutes. We have 695 packages installed. Shell bash is 5.1.16. We're using Plasma 5.24.5. And then we have the Breeze theme and Breeze icons. And at present, with just the terminal open, out of 4 gigabytes of RAM, we are using 734 megabytes. So that, guys, is how you install Arch Linux. One thing I want to check is let's go ahead and make sure we can connect to the internet. And Firefox pops up. So let's go ahead and pop up here. And let's go ahead and close out of that. And let's pull up eBuzz Central. Let's do a search. And there's my channel, there's my Twitter, there's my Patreon. It's simple, guys. It's easy. Installing Arch isn't hard. It isn't like what it used to be, just a couple of years ago. If you don't know a lot about the terminal, if you don't know a lot of the lines of code that you're supposed to put in, you're okay. It's Linux. There is a learning curve, but what I've just showed you is the easiest way to use vanilla Arch and install a front end for Pacman that makes it easy to install not only official repository software, but also software from the AUR. What do you think? Is this something you might download, throw on a USB, or put in a virtual machine and try? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's video, you can become a member right here on YouTube. Become a patron to the channel over on Patreon, buy us a coffee, or throw us a donation on PayPal. I would also like to thank today's video sponsors, producer Mislav Kralesa, Mitchell Valentino, VIP sponsors Matthew Gower, Antoine Wilk, all access sponsors are Eugene Lee, Leonard McQueen, Mike DePaulis, and sponsors and members Nitrix, Cato Gosted, Chad Jones, and Keith Hefner. If you liked today's video, here's a couple more for you to take a look at. I generally cover Linux and open source. Sometimes I might do a little Windows bashing. Once again, thank you for watching my video, and I will see you in the next video.